Hello and welcome. Thank you all for joining us on this special broadcast. We've been traveling through parts of Rajasthan for the last several days, and that tour will continue. But we decided to take a pit stop in Jaipur, the epicenter of all the political strategizing and planning that's going on ahead of elections. And joining me right now on this debate are representatives of both the big political parties who've locked on in Rajasthan, BJP and Congress, and also a senior neutral voice from the world of journalism who will give his own view. So let's try and understand about the core issues that we've been speaking to people. What is it that our panelists think, and where do the two parties really stand on these issues? Let's say good evening to Archana Sharma of the Congress Party, Manish Parikh of the BJP, and Raje, senior journalist and also a professor with the Rajasthan University. Archana, I will start with you. Now, if anybody wants to or has a conversation about Rajasthan, the first thing is anti-incumbency hai ki nahi. Rajasthan traditionally has been, the voters have been very impatient. 5 years and you're out if you don't impress them. What is your own reading?
Of course, there's anti-incumbency, but there are many other factors because of which we feel that it's very promising for Congress Party. We had a debacle in 2013, after that in 2014, and later on when we realized that we have to work hard, and right from the very beginning we were on the streets protesting for people's rights, and on many issues it was our efforts that Bharatiya Janata Party was on back foot. So you cannot say that it's only anti-incumbency, it is efforts of the Congress Party. Each and every worker has worked hard, and the way we worked united under one leadership of Shri Rahul Gandhi ji, the results will be ultimately that will be coming into power with full majority.
Manish, anti-incumbency, is it a factor or not? It's usually been so.
Yeah.
Vasundhara Raje does have a tough task.
Yes, it is usually factor. But in these days, we have the people. We are with the whole thought of bunch of so many plans are there, so many yojnas are there. So all the beneficiaries, we have got a lot of beneficiaries with us. Even Honorable Prime Minister also visited Jaipur that time. So we have 1.5 lakhs of people are there, and what they have got their direct benefit out of the government. So this huge amount of the direct benefits to the people just make us some rich over there, and now we can look to that. But I think the real problem was with the believance to the people who just governed that. It just came with the Congress Party when the Ashok Gehlot is doing something, and what the CP Joshi is saying something, and what they are saying. So they didn't have any thoughtfulness towards that. So we just break that down, and Vasundhara Raje was a sole leader there, and she just got this particular believance of the people that she is the lady who can do for us, first of all. And the Modi ji's love to the Modi, people love Modi, that is extra benefit to us. So this all things came with the good and some kind of advantage to us. So that's why this particular anti-incumbency will ruled over.
लेकिन मैंने तो जब मैं यहाँ पे आई, I heard this one saying which apparently has been very popular here, which says वसुंधरा की खैर नहीं, मोदी जी से बैर नहीं. Isn't that a reflection of what people are saying?
I cannot say it is a regular phenomena or is a regular basis. It sometimes happens if somebody is not happy with their own MLA and what he shouts for. It doesn't matter for the whole story is there. But the thing is she is so workaholic CM. She is so laborious, she did work. वो हमेशा यात्रा करती है, पसीना बहाती है, फिर सत्ता में आती है. People say so. And what the congressmen never do anything, just wait for anti-incumbency. They just कि इनके लिए नाराज होंगे लोग तो हमको वोट कर देंगे. तो ये जो अकर्मण्यता है ये उनकी मुसीबत बनेगी. मुझे लगता है कि वसुंधरा जी ने 2200 किलोमीटर की यात्रा करी. आपने देखा पहले परिवर्तन यात्रा करी तो वो सत्ता में आई, फिर उस स्वराज संकल्प यात्रा करी तो सत्ता में आई, और अब की बार उन्होंने गौरव यात्रा करी तो सत्ता में आएंगी. तो शी इज अ लेबोरियस सीएम. She worked for 18 hours, she thoughtfulness, or visionary lady with. So this all come to a benefit advantage to us. And the Karyakarta whole, I think the lot of people are there, over there 10 lakhs people directly involved with our this booth level executives. Some booth in charge is one, over 51,000 booths are there. We have just named out them. We have got their phone numbers where they're all biodatas with, and the 20 people with them to help them to make a committee over. So it is 10 lakhs in numbers. So if one people just impress 10 people in their own colony, it just came to the 1 crore.
But it's not about impressing people anymore, Mr. Maman, is it? Because when it comes to BJP, people are going to judge them by what they have done in 5 years. And they're going to compare it to what is it that Congress did in Gehlot's era, or what is it that they are promising. Do you believe that that there is a certain amount of unhappiness that the government has failed to impress the voters, or do you have a different view?
Well, if you go by the by-election results that we've seen, and you know, the last round was in February this year, the BJP was trounced, and trounced quite badly. There were 2 Lok Sabha seats covering 16 Vidhan Sabha, state assembly constituencies, and 1 assembly constituency. And the BJP trailed and trailed badly in all the 17 Vidhan Sabha constituencies. So to that extent, and I think, you know, this whole issue of anti-incumbency, while some of it is natural, happens to every government. So that is why, you know, revolving door policy in Rajasthan. But I think the sense of disappointment on people in Rajasthan is because they gave a historic mandate. In 2013, the number of seats that the BJP and Vasundhara Raje got had never been given to any chief minister or any party till then. Secondly, within 6 months of that, the state gave away all the 25 Lok Sabha seats to the BJP. So, I mean, really, if then things haven't radically improved in Rajasthan, people have. So, you know, the graph of people's expectations went up so high. So not just the Prime Minister's 15 lakhs for everyone, but also the chief ministerial promise of providing 15 lakh jobs to youngsters in Rajasthan. All of those things are now beginning to bite the BJP, and which is why, as you said, that slogan which is popularly sort of echoing across Rajasthan for the last few months, one can sense that, you know, there is this double anti-incumbency that Vasundhara Raje is currently facing, because it's her government. Also at the center, there was a BJP government for 4.5 years of her tenure. And if despite that, Rajasthan has not seen a spectacular sort of improvement in the ground reality, then to some extent people are justified in the sense of disappointment that they're nurturing right now.
Right, and I want to discuss some of those schemes and whether they have or have not worked. Manish ji was talking about them. But let us very quickly understand, Archana, what is Congress's agenda? Apart from the fact that BJP hasn't perhaps done enough of what they could, why should a voter vote for Congress?
See, we had been in power for a longer time in the country as well as in the state. So we understand that people give mandate either for a party to be in power or to act as an opposition. So we realized this very nicely, and we acted according to the aspirations of the people. So we had only 21 MLAs at that time, a very insignificant number. But we had our workers on the streets, our organization was working, and they had many policies. They are claiming that they worked for the welfare of the people. But what Sir was saying, that the mandate was huge, people had high aspirations, but they failed to fulfill all those aspirations. Their attitudes were totally indifferent towards the people. And what they did with the mandate was that they tried to bring an act which was actually anti-democratic, and it was even a gag, it was type of an act which was a gag for media also. So in that case we quoted arrest, and then there was a mining scam, we exposed that scam, and people realized that starting from the Lalit Gate and then mining scam, and so many scams in most of the departments. He was speaking about welfare schemes. But the fact is that those welfare schemes were the schemes which were, going on from the previous Congress regime. Only the thing was that they changed the name. But the fact was that the free medicine scheme, it was put on hold actually. They could not, they could not abolish the scheme, but they had put that scheme on hold. The refinery was put on hold. Every scheme that was committed for the people, it was put on hold, and budget was curtailed. And in the free medicine scheme, everybody realized that 12 crore people benefited from that scheme during our regime. And today what we see that the common person is not getting medicine for cold and cough. And he might claim that we have a Bhamasha Yojana, which the central government also says that it will be a replica for their Ayushman Bharat. But many TV channels, and I think even Arvind ji has realized this in times now, that there is a scam going on. A person is registered in a hospital, no surgery is conducted, and then the insurance company, they are claiming the money, and everything is going on like this. So people realize that every scheme that was put on hold was devoted to people of Rajasthan. They are not getting benefits out of that. And people also realize that they came into power promising 15 lakh jobs. But we know that this government has failed to provide all these things.
No, so
he was saying
all
that
of that, what you're saying, is what BJP hasn't done or has done wrongly.
What has the Congress
What
done?
will the Congress do? How will you create those 15 lakh jobs if you are voted to power? Or how will you resolve the water crisis or fix these welfare schemes where there is some amount of unhappiness, at least in pockets of Rajasthan, because they're not getting the benefits?
See, when you have lost the ground, which we lost in 2013, and there was, you know, a sort of vacuum. People were not ready to accept Congress and believe in us. So at that time, when we went to people, we created, confidence in them, and there were many issues pertaining to, the welfare schemes he was claiming, and then we protested for them. They realized that Congress is there. We had a very low mandate, you can say that it was insignificant mandate, but despite of that, we were working. And people started believing in us. And so far as you are saying that what agenda we are going to create and we'll go with that, we'll have a clear-cut roadmap for each and every promise we are going to make. We have committed to people of Rajasthan that our manifesto will be public manifesto. It will be Jan Ghoshna Path. In that Jan Ghoshna Path, we have created a toll-free number. And I'm happy to announce that we have received around 2 lakh suggestions from the people. So when such suggestions come through people, they realize that the party which is now fighting with us, which is standing with us, has to come to power on behalf of people, and that is happening. And that is the biggest part. When people start, respecting those who are in opposition, start believing them, trusting them, and this is happening in the state of Rajasthan.
Okay. To what she was saying, and you can respond to that, but also to the parts that I travel, a lot of people are unhappy that they are not getting the benefits. Some of them even showed me कि उनके पास वो भामाशाह कार्ड है, लेकिन उनको benefits नहीं मिल रहे. Now, either it is lack of awareness, or there is a problem in the system, or they have a card but they're not eligible. The schemes are there, they are recognized by the government, by the center, that these are good schemes, the ideas are good, but do you agree that there's a problem with the implementation?
Yeah, sometimes it happens then. People goes to the hospital and they didn't got what they want, but it never is a very not regular phenomenon is there. Sometimes it happens, I think, but this hole in your heart, the child is being operated free of cost. Just 3 lakhs of people is being invested by the government in Fortis hospital. She knows the mothers and fathers are well aware with these facilities being given, provided by the government. First of all, whatever is being, she's saying about the scams, I don't think that people who are just working with their own class, they are getting benefit out of that, and just doctors are making false entries in the register. So she's just suspicious towards the doctors.
Not doctors,
this is not possible.
the private hospitals, those private hospitals you have empaneled, and if you
allopathic doctor is there, that's
so
why they are getting
the doctors in government hospitals, they themselves are claiming that there is no medicine, there is no facility. The Bhamasha card is going to be a dilemma for the people, because if you go for a daycare service and if you are unable to enroll within an hour, doctor will reject you. Then if a person who is not educated, who is not able to work on this internet and all, is not acquainted to that, in that case what will that person do? So you have no follow up or backup for such people.
We have to pay the money to
Mr. Manish, whether the government wants to look into if there is a scam or not, and if somebody is robbing you of the taxpayers' money, is the government's prerogative. Let's not get into that right now. The larger question is, are people who are supposed to get the benefit under the health insurance scheme or get the other government welfare scheme benefits, are they getting it? For example, आपने गैस सिलेंडर तो दे दिए गांव में, लेकिन किसके पास है 900 रुपए 1100 रुपए सिलेंडर को रिफिल कराने के? अब वो हम जहाँ गए वहाँ the gas cylinder is in one corner and चूल्हा जल रहा है.
It is not exactly 900 rupees when you just get a subsidy in your own account.
Subsidy you will give me later.
600 rupees.
You will give the subsidy to me later. I still have to go and pay 900 rupees up front. Where हमारे देश में जो गरीब आदमी है, जो गांव में है, उसके पास कहाँ से आएंगे?
नहीं, their own account they got the subsidy regularly basis. पक्की बात है. दूसरी बात ये है कि जो भी उसको लगता है, अगर they don't want to pay us a penny to that, then it's their choice. They just
it's not their choice. They don't have it.
Just burn it with the chula. It's their choice. But it is our duty to provide them. It may be possible in next term we will provide free of cost. Everything is on pipeline. You get this, burn it up, and your gas is going. It may be possible in next term. I can say, but these days you.
Then how much will you charge us for petrol? 120 rupees.
No, that's why I'm saying it's not. We are not making any false statement towards that. We just earned that amount. You say 1,50,000 crores. We just utilize that. We just paid it off again. We just write down the loans to getting out of that. So it is because of everything is still clear. So we are not hiding anything.
Mr. Rajan,
with the petrols.
Do you agree that there is a problem when it comes to some of these schemes and implement?
Yes, indeed. I mean, on the ground, reality hasn't really changed as dramatically as the BJP claims. What Archana ji was saying about the Bhamasha card is something that has been borne out even by my limited exposure to, various hospitals and meeting some people in my own, locality, people who live just a little on the fringes of my locality, and there's kind of a...
you just see the numbers of people, they're crowding up.
But you haven't provided the number.
That tells you how much big numbers are there. Why are they coming to that hospital? If they are coming to the hospital, they have hope. And they're getting something.
But
that's why
they are desperate and they don't have any other
Otherwise,
option.
they will never come.
There was never a public declaration that so many people have been benefited.
No,
and the fact was that the insurance company, it came out with the proclamation that we are not going to reimburse. So if this is happening, then how can you say that your scheme is a success?
So for example, I have sensed some amount of anger in people in smaller villages for the fact that you have scaled down the number of beneficiaries under Food Security Act. Now, these people seem to suggest that if your name is not there in the NFSA list, even a Bhamasha card is not going to get you any other government welfare scheme.
True.
Now, I am not here, Mr. Rajan, sitting and arguing on the merits of food security and who should be a beneficiary or who should not be a beneficiary, but it seems that may have worked against the government on ground because people are unhappy. They were so used to these freebies of 10 kg and 20 kg of ration coming to their homes, they're not getting that anymore.
Well, and the point is that if people were, let's assume that they were used to a certain freebie, as you call it, the point is you have to look at the desperate poverty of people who are below poverty line, BPL families. And then to have a situation where, the BJP talked of almost scrapping Narega, remember? Right. And Narega for a long time has virtually been defunct in the state. So, either if you are looking to ensure that people actually pay for the services that they get, then you have to ensure that some money reaches those people. There's some rozgar, some employment. I think one of the worst failures of this government, as well as the centre, is the lack of jobs. They're simply not around. And demonetization and the way India's economy got smashed in many areas because of demonetization. That is an open secret in this country. And the fact that the BJP didn't have the courage to really celebrate what they called at that time as the most revolutionary economic step that had ever been taken in India's history, the BJP 2 years later has not had the courage to even talk about it, leave alone come out with huge posters and banners and rallies, etc., as they are prone to do for even the smallest little achievement of theirs. So the fact that that had smashed or ruined large parts of India's economy, even in Jaipur itself, the jewelry trade, you just go and talk to the jewelers, how many of them are now employing the same number of skilled craftsmen that they were using 3 years ago? They're simply not using that many. There is an economic slowdown, and my suspicion is that too much of this focus on themes of religious polarization is essentially to distract people's minds from these terrible economic conditions that have been created in the country.
That's always the case.
That's why the per capita income has been raised up to 1,26,000. No, that's why.
We've seen that in Rajasthan also.
Okay.
No,
that's the case every time.
Why the per capita income is being increased up to 1,26,000 from 86,000? Why?
Per capita
income is being increased up to 1,26,000 per year to the people, and if it was just 86,000 in last year.
Yes, the country is going through its growth.
That's why.
Nobody is saying there's no growth, but it is jobless growth.
Is it enough?
That is
jobless growth cannot.
Is it enough?
It is not possible.
No, Manish ji, is it enough? How many? Is it enough when you are charging me the amount that you are charging me for petrol and gas and electricity and food? Is it enough when I don't have the kind of job that I deserve for my education? When I'm not getting the increments that I deserve for the work? Is it enough? Let's talk about Rajasthan. The promise was for 15 lakh jobs. Where are you today now?
That's why I just say that you registered in PPF account 9,60,000.
So it's not job creation.
They are the salaried people who just got the PPF account. The Public Provident Fund accounts, the new PPF account is been registered there, 9,60,000.
And there are all
the
people of new salary people.
Yes, they got the job. That's why they salaried for, and they are just giving 6 to 9% or 15% up to just their cut it up for their benefits. Sure. First of all, second, 1,50,000 government job has been given to the people, and out of that, 2 lakhs, more than 2 lakhs people is being given the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Yojana, and they just got their own business with that fact. So
why
it is just up to around 15 lakhs.
Why is it that youngsters are having to move out not just from smaller cities to Jaipur, but from Jaipur to other parts of the country?
It happens. The people are coming from UP regularly. Regularly from Kerala, people are coming to Rajasthan to give the examination of SSC exam or anything.
No, I'm talking about private jobs.
It happens. In military, in police, everybody.
But that's not credit to you. That is no credit.
That's why I'm saying
to the BJP.
Rajasthan is also being there.
You are trying to equate two things which are not, which are not equal at
No.
all.
As far as what Tanvi was asking, the 15, where is the 15,000 employment?
You can't tell me 15 lakh jobs. You can't tell me that 15 lakh jobs happen because we increased some amount of posts in the government and then army and the police. Obviously not. That's not how you create jobs.
So 15 lakhs.
And if that's how the party is planning, then I'm very concerned about what you're going to give us, even in the center.
It is not possible with everybody is getting the government job only, but 15 lakhs of Rojgars are there. I'm just telling you, the 9,60,000 people are.
So 9 lakh new PPF accounts plus 1 lakh government jobs. That's still 10
1.5 lakh.
They have been misleading people when they were, he was claiming that Vasundhara ji was on Yatra.
Okay, let's hear what she has to say.
Manish, listen.
Now I can add one point to this, which is a very crucial point. In Rajasthan, the State Public Service Commission is now a big joke. Yes. Even the biggest job that the Rajasthan Public Service Commission provides, the RPSC, is the RAS examination, the Rajasthan Administrative Service Examination. Year after year in the last few years, we've seen some bungling or the other in such a way that they'll run into legal trouble. And, I have had students, last year, one of my students actually qualified. And guess what? A year later, when he's already got married on the anticipation that he's joining this prestigious service.
Because the court cases are there. You cannot say anything.
But you have
no only court who can decide. We cannot decide anything.
With the way
but do you ever plead in favor of such students?
And it's not just Rajasthan. Uttar Pradesh is going through the same problem. Again, you can blame the courts on now telling you what to do and what not to do.
We are not blaming, but properly.
But system में गड़बड़ी थी, इसीलिए court को आना पड़ा और step in करना पड़ा.
Plead on behalf of the students. They don't plead strongly in the courts also. So this is happening in every institute in the state of Rajasthan. They have institutionalized. You have the corruption has been institutionalized in the state of Rajasthan. They misled the people.
Okay, let her make a point and then you can respond.
Listen, Manish.
She's saying so.
Listen, Manish.
Let me understand.
In mining scam, she just uttered that.
And she was on Yatra when she came to
I'll come to you.
And after that also she was claiming that I am going to the districts and had subdivisions, and we never had the follow-up of what problems came and how they were sorted out. So they have never provided to RTI also. And when he says that these are the schemes by which people got benefited, you people also know this, that they have created a new definition for beneficiary. Because who is a beneficiary is a person who gets benefit out of the welfare schemes. But now they say that we have recruited so and so many people in a particular department, they are also beneficiaries of the government. Every government that comes into power, it's duty to provide jobs through certain departments. So people who got jobs during the BJP regime, how can you call them beneficiaries? So what they are doing is that, and one thing sir was also saying that when Modi ji came, there was a program for beneficiaries, and they brought about 3 lakh. They are claiming, but it was only 1 lakh people in the state, in the city itself. And when Vasundhara ji depicted that they provided skill development, then she showed that the person who got this skill, he got job in Dubai. So you are claiming that we have provided skill to this person, but we are not able to provide job. So when you say that we have given 1,50,000 government jobs and 9 lakh jobs for the skill development, we are asking, please issue a white paper. Tell us who are those beneficiaries, who are those lucky people you have given job. And few days back, Vasundhara ji's tweet was there that we have given 44 lakh jobs to the people in Rajasthan. So it's just rubbing salt on the wounds of young people and those who are jobless people. And he says that 9 million people have been benefited. They have created an account. These are all things, fake things. This is something that is tantamount to misleading the youth in the state of Rajasthan. So that's why youth are against you.
You cannot say.
So the Labour Department doesn't give us employment figures. Unfortunately, in this entire country, maybe it benefits all governments who are in power to not tell us how many jobs that they are creating and how many people are getting employed.
I just told you.
All that we get is an unemployment data and PPF, which is debatable. And you and I can sit and have a separate debate on whether that's an actual reflection of new jobs being created. Just like there is a debate on whether giving loans through Mudra scheme is actual reflection of new jobs being created. I could still be a person who was working somewhere else and start a business. That's not a new job being created.
You have got this information because of Mudra banking. 1,50,000 people got their loan.
CBI inquiry for Mudra scheme in Bardmer.
Their own business.
In two of the banks,
they started.
There is a CBI inquiry for that.
और अब मुझे अगर यहाँ पे खाने का स्टॉल खोलना पड़ेगा, that's really out of lack of options, not because the country did wonders for me to give me an engineering job.
If you just, man to man, it varies for. But if you are talking about the numbers of the jobs is being provided by the government, then you have to utter that. That's why I am uttering, first of all. The second thing is,
you come out with the names of those lucky people.
Outside the house.
We are not shouting, we are just demanding. We want you to be accountable.
Even Ashok Gehlot ji never attended any meeting of the Vidhan Sabha.
So how does it matter that people have suffered because he didn't attend the assembly session?
They never sing.
People are suffering because what your committee have not fulfilled.
And they are shouting outside with the media. What the use of that? You don't believe in constitutional authorities. You don't believe in assemblies.
Do you believe in those institutions?
We're coming with that particular.
Are you honoring the sovereignty of CBI, CBC, RBI?
You must have believings over there.
Entire country knows that you are undermining the sovereignty of each and every constitution.
You are saying the mining scam is there.
Let's come back to the issue. It
came out with a white paper.
What about the mining scam? What she's uttering that? We just sent the four IS people behind the bar. First time in the history of Rajasthan. They never decided. They never have any courage towards that.
It was because we exposed the entire scam and you had to, nullify the allotments. So this is because Congress did that. Otherwise, you knew that your government, central government, is issuing an order in which you had to auction. And you did the allotment. In that day, they were 125 mines were allotted.
We have to stop that. Mines. Then they just shout.
You won't be able to understand this. Yes. Your response is that you've taken action against four people.
But Tanvi asked him whether it's not who initiated. The fact is that the person who was, got red-handed with 2,50,000 crores, they reinstated that officer, promoted them to principal secretary level. So what that shows, it is that you have tolerance for corruption. You are ready to institutionalize corruption.
It never happens with the Congress government.
We're running out of time.
All I can say is that the same Mr. Singhvi, a very senior IS officer, an additional chief secretary level person, was the mining secretary in the first tenure of Vasundhara Raje's government. Once again, curiously, he was the one who was made the mining secretary. He was again made the mining secretary once the BJP came in. And then we found that there was this huge scam that had
disclosed.
happened. Which is why an additional chief secretary ranked officer
first term
behind bars.
Then the second term is not obligatory. But the first time
you have to answer to the people of state why you reinstated him. when there was an
What
inquiry
you
pending.
didn't have any courage
And
towards
then
the people,
not only
IS
did
people.
She's
We did
asking
it.
you, why did you reinstate him?
And even you gave
It is the
promotion.
government
So what does
procedure,
that prove?
It is their work,
That there was a political
conditions.
hand in
It
that.
is all the work
It was
which is
all
there.
under
So
the
you cannot
that
say any
just cannot
service
be
rules.
what if you're
the
reinstated?
Because of service
entire
rules,
scam was
Tanvi,
under
it
aegis of
happens.
Srimati
Otherwise
Vasudha
it is
Raje.
not
That has been
possible.
proved.
Okay.
It is not possible. It's
Okay,
because of service rules. They have got
I
none of
have
it
one
out.
more very interesting topic that we must cover before we wrap this up, which is the growing farm crisis in this state. It may not be a very big crisis right now, but it is worsening by the year after year, and I don't see a policy in place now. जो हो गया वो अब तो उसका कुछ हो नहीं सकता है. अब हम इस स्थिति पे पहुंच गए हैं कि जहाँ पे लोग बोल रहे हैं कि ना पानी है ना रिसोर्स है, हमसे सस्टेनेबल नहीं है, लेकिन दूसरी कोई नौकरी भी नहीं है. सो यू डोंट हैव अल्टरनेट जॉब्स. They cannot sustain their agriculture. What would be your plan if you came back to power to fix Rajasthan's farm crisis, which will not be a farm loan waiver? Farm loan waiver is a very temporary short-term fix. वो मत बताइएगा. What's the long-term plan?
We are very friendly with these all basic resources. BJP always thinks about the long-term vision, and that's why we have got the Bisalpur's water because of BJP government, and then we have got plan to add with the Chambal water, this BJP plan.
हुआ ही नहीं, वो तो कितने साल हो
we have
चुके हैं
got
उस
planning
चीज़ में.
for, but
You're still planning.
because of that lacking 5 years of our ruling, we just lost that.
And PM
it is
came
because
and he
of-
made an
in
announcement,
Tanvi,
and then
we've
again
been
he came and then
introduced
said
with the
that
Ramgarh
it is
water
under a
only in
technical
Jaipur,
committee
and
to
there were 6 lakh
finalize
people in
all
Jaipur now.
those,
It's 60 lakhs people,
specific
and we
cities.
have got enough water there. Everybody is with their own bathtub, and everybody have their own drinking water. Yes,
in Jaipur.
that's why
So having a bathtub is not a
people
luxury.
came with the bathing. ये मैं कह रहा हूँ, ये जो कह रहे हैं कि
जी,
पानी की कमी है,
नहीं है राजस्थान में.
possible. नहीं, मैं जयपुर में कह रहा हूँ जो सप्लाई ऑफ वाटर की बात है.
She is asking about farmers.
From the beginning.
नहीं, मैं आपसे
शुरू
पूछ
से
रही हूँ
अब जो
कि
farmers की
किसान
बात
क्या
है.
करे. पिछले साल आपने दबा दिया प्रोटेस्ट, फार्म लोन वेवर देके उनकी अभी की प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व
काली सिंध नदी के बारे
सुसाइड्स
में
आर इंक्रीजिंग. दिस इज अनहर्ड ऑफ इन राजस्थान. यू आर बिकमिंग अनदर मध्य प्रदेश और महाराष्ट्र. व्हाई?
Regularly the farm crop, the quantum of crop is regularly increasing, Tanvi. You can see the data. Regularly, we have got the bajra this time.
So
last thumping.
you don't think there is a farm crisis?
I don't think so. I'm not saying so. But we have just water to crop. But the second is the Kali Sindh Yojana to just add the people with the rivers. All these, the water proficiency will be there, but not the lacking of water they are facing after 5 years. I think because we have got a good plan to just join, to just add, to just link the rivers from and we have got more than 4,000 crores of plans are there. Vasundhara ji has been announcing. They have announced in some parts. So I think it's a very good vision towards the water crisis in farm.
See, it's a big challenge throughout the country. So in the way he's saying, he's undermining the entire issue. The fact is that, yes, it's a challenge and we have to work for it. And we are preparing some plans, and we have been working with farmers, and it's unfortunate that more than 100 farmers committed suicide, and they have not
What do you say about the
acknowledged
10
that.
district?
And
He's been involved in Kali Sindh project.
In fact, what happened
Just
is
ask
that
her.
Let her finish.
Even Chief Minister, the Agriculture Minister, they had been saying that there were personal reasons because of which the farmers are committing suicides. But the reason was that they didn't get the help for the drought or any other calamity that happened in the state for the last 5 years. And even for the flood, everybody in the nation knows that Modi ji came, had an aerial view of Gujarat and Rajasthan, but did not provide.
No, I don't understand. What are personal reasons for a farmer to commit suicide? बेटी की शादी के लिए पैसे नहीं हो पाए, लोन लिया था वो भर नहीं पाए, कुछ फैमिली प्रॉब्लम्स हो गई. गरीब को फैमिली प्रॉब्लम्स क्या ही होंगी, गरीबी से रिलेटेड ही होंगी. तो क्यों नहीं कर सकते आप वो फिक्स?
वो इसलिए नहीं हो रहा ना कि she belongs to Hadoti region. She gets elected from here. Her son also gets elected from that parliamentary seat. But they never acknowledge
the maximum number
that
happens in Congress term.
The garlic, which is a perishable item. So what you have to do is that you make arrangements for the procurement. And everywhere there is a scam. They are claiming that the farmer is going to mandi and they are giving vouchers. But the fact is that those vouchers are being, taken by the middleman, and they are taking it at rupees 3 per kg or per quintal. See, I'm not so much, well versed with the issue with these rates of all these things. But the fact was that there was a scam. Those receipts were made available in Jaipur, and the entire thing was procured by the middleman, and farmers committed suicide. 15 farmers committed suicide in 7 days. This, they know it. And after that also, their home minister said that there were only 3 suicides. At least they accepted that this is happening in the state. In the adjoining state of Madhya Pradesh, the entire nation. See, in the adjoining state, there was 6 farmers, they died because there was an order for firing on them. So all this is happening under your watch, and you are not taking responsibility. Everybody wants that those who are in power have to be held accountable, and they don't want to be accountable for anything. Anything that is happening in any state of Rajasthan, in any state which is being ruled by BJP, for every failure, for everything that goes against the people, they just complain that it is just because Congress was there in the previous times. So do you think this is going to be? But you tell me, Mr. Manish, we are in the we are just having elections, and by 20 days, a new government will come into power. At least change this narrative. Now people are fed up with you people, claiming every time that this is because Congress was responsible. 5 years is not enough to fulfill aspirations of people, and then you're going back to
I agree with Archana that I also often wonder कि अब तो 5 साल होने को आए, अब तो कोई और बहाना दे दीजिए कि 40 साल में कांग्रेस ने जो किया उसी का एग्जांपल आप देते रहेंगे. आपके 4 साल में जो हुआ चेंज, whatever little can be done is the point that we would like to talk about. I am completely out of time, so very your last
मैंने
word.
बताया कि ये मैं केवल को ये पूछ रहा हूँ कि क्या किसानों ने इनके काल में आत्महत्या नहीं की?
कैसा जस्टिफिकेशन नहीं हुआ?
हमें रोका नहीं,
वो जस्टिफिकेशन नहीं हुआ.
उसके बाद मैंने कहा कि हमने सुविधाएं बढ़ाई, हमने कहा कि
हमने फार्म लोन वेवर देके खत्म कर दी,
हमने यूरिया की किल्लत खत्म की, हमने उनको दोबारा लोन दे दिया, हमने उनको 50,000 का लोन माफ कर दिया और 20,000 का लोन फिर दे दिया. So they have enough money to just drop.
Money they have, but they want to choose suicides over living. It's shocking that in a state which for the first time, the courage of Rajasthan's farmers has been legendary. We've never had farmer suicides in this state. For the first time in the last 5 years, we've actually had
no, not first time.
You tell me when it was earlier, we'll talk after. For the first time, we've heard this famous slogan by our former Prime Minister Lal Bahadur Shastri, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. It's ironical that in a country when there's so much focus on nationalism and Jai Jawan is so much talked about, Jai Kisan is something that's almost been forgotten. And I'm sorry, I don't think there is an easy fix to the farm crisis, but I think the first step that they need to take is to realize that there is a crisis. And secondly, just government after government claiming that they're going to increase the MSP, the minimum support price, is simply no solution, because your governments are simply not buying, sir. They're not buying in adequate quantities.
Because of that,
they are getting more money. Raje's own region of Hadoti, we've had this crisis with garlic farmers. Yes. Their produce is not just being picked. So how are they going to survive? The farmer puts in all he has
just
into
to make the garlic mandi there.
At the end of
first time,
the government only announces a minimum support price, but they don't buy at that price. Right. The poor farmer is left at the mercy of that middleman, as you're saying, that trader, that dalal.
No, Raj, 17 mandis in been established in Rajasthan first time. It never happens in the Congress.
But the problem that you're raising is actually not just Rajasthan.
They are buying particular
we've recently visited Madhya Pradesh, and specifically for garlic farmers, the same problem is arising even there. So there has to be a comprehensive plan, and I'm amazed that this government couldn't do it, because when they fought to come to power in 2014, even at the center, they had a clear plan of fixing the supply chain from farm to the end point, what changes had to be made, and none of them got done. They went back on MSP. And it's only now that they have even started to talk about minimum selling price.
Along with the planning commission being scrapped. And there's no NITI that we have
and now in the last 6 months, we're seeing all of these conversations, and one can only hope that at least in the next term, whichever government comes to power, this changes. I want to thank all three of you for taking the time out and joining us on this debate. Of course, we will continue to get you more voices and more reports from Rajasthan. Thanks so much for joining us.
Staying with our special series on India Votes, Mirror Now also spoke to a few urban voters in Rajasthan to know their demands ahead of the assembly elections. While for them development is priority, jobs and inflation are also sticky points. Tanvi Shukla interacted with some of these voters at Masala Chowk in Jaipur. Take a look.
We are here in the heart of Jaipur at Masala Chowk. And on a weekday, this is buzzing with activity right now. Families, friends, all out here to get some food. So we thought we should talk to some more people and get a sense of what's buzzing this election season. आपसे शुरू करते हैं. अगर आप बताना चाहें कि आपके सर्कल में, फैमिली में, फ्रेंड्स में जब बातचीत होती है कि इस बार इलेक्शन में क्या इशू होगा, क्या होगा, what do you guys talk about? What is that big issue for you?
Not a single government, whether it is Congress or BJP, they are not working actually. So they are least interested, the youngsters.
Does your family vote? Have you all voted in the past?
We used to vote actually, but the thing is, like, we are very disappointed with this government because they have not developed anything. Like me, along with my brother, we all are working in Mumbai, Delhi, or in other places. In fact, in Jaipur, there is this vacant space available in SEZ, but like no government has developed this place. I don't know why they are not looking into it, and we have to like go to some other cities for a job kind of thing.
But अभी तो यहाँ पे एक बहुत they've opened a big IT park, if I'm not mistaken. A lot of companies have come.
Special economic zone of Mahindra, but the area around that has not been developed till now. They have developed the particular kilometer range area, but outside that kilometer range, there is still the rural population is existing. Not has been developed so much. So Jaipur population is going outwards, but state population is not getting job in state.
But otherwise, in this city, I've seen a lot of development from the last time I visited. Would you agree that in terms of infrastructure and accessibility or services, is there an improvement in the city?
Yes, it has been improved, but metro work is still going on in the mid of the city, that is Choti Chopad area. The metro work is still going on, but it has not been completed till now. 5 years has been completed of the government, but metro has not been completed.
Do you think for 2019 general election, jobs will be an issue?
That is all propaganda. There are no jobs available right now. If you will see the government jobs and private jobs, in government jobs they are reducing the vacancies. People are taking VRS and all, but there are no new openings for the people. So where are the jobs? I don't know.
महंगाई बढ़ती जा रही है. पेट्रोल, LPG, खाने का भाव बढ़ता जा रहा है. But are you seeing those kind of increments even in public or private sector?
No, I think there is not such type of increment which is required for the today's scenario, because our salary is very much stagnant. In case of the terms of increment, only yearly 9,000 rupees increment, and the inflation that goes on, it is more than 1,000 rupees that affect our budget.
What is the urban voters agenda?
See, we definitely are looking for the development and looking for the people, looking for the candidate, actually not party. In fact, the candidate who can do the developments, who can talk about youth, who can talk about jobs, who can talk about future developments. We are just looking for the candidate, that's all. We are not looking. I'm basically not favoring in the party and all.
With just about 20-25 odd days to go for the election, for the voting, we've been just trying to get a sense from people over here what they think matters to them this election season. And broadly, it is development within the city and more importantly, jobs for youngsters. With cameraman Rajesh, this is Tanvi Shukla here for Mirror Now in Jaipur.